Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our daily devotional. This week, we are back to covering our topic, Better Together. And tonight's topic, we are going to be talking about the greatest gift of love is attention. And I know sometimes we may think that, what do you mean by that? But it really, truly is. But before we jump into tonight's topic, I pray that everyone has had an amazing day. Everything went well. God is continually blessing you and that you're having an amazing evening. That is so important that we all just, have great days. Just, for those, I think those who've been praying for me, I have been suffering from a migraine for the past like 8 days. I had some relief starting last evening. So it is getting better. So thank you so much for everyone who's been keeping me in prayer and keeping me lifted. We are just trucking along, just getting some work done. So I thank you for that. And so tonight's lesson is going to be coming from Galatians, the 6th chapter and the 10th verse. And it reads as such: Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially those who belong to the family of believers. And so when we talk about, the best gift, of love, the greatest gift of love is attention. We're going to dive deep into that. Hi, Sister Pauline. How are you doing this evening? Want to know I see you. So, for some people that I've seen in the group, the messages, and then it was just like they disappeared. So, I do have a call into Facebook just to see if there's anything quirky and crazy going on. But, the other platform registers that you've made a comment. So that's how I can just, reach out. So I know a couple of people I had to do that to on yesterday because I saw them and I was like, yay, they're in. And then I went to reply and they were gone. And I'm like, no, they're gone. So please don't ever think that we don't hear what your comments are or we're not, engaging with you. Sometimes Facebook is not nice to us. It's not. So, but in spite of that, let us get into tonight's awesome topic. Like we said, in Galatians 6, it says, give special attention to those who are in the family of believers. You see, because whatever you pay attention to is what you're going to grow. And I give people a great example. I used to, back home, do vacation Bible school. And what I learned with the children, we were in a, tough community, tough kids, latchkey kids. So therefore, they had really tough exteriors, like nothing fazed them. So I implemented this process where we were not going to call home if something bad happened. The only and when I mean if it was a little behavior issue or whatever that we were able to correct and move forward, that's what we did. The only thing we were going to call home and tell them the good stuff that they learned, what they learned, how they learned it, and those things. And it was funny, we began to see a shift in the children because we focused on what they did well. They stopped, doing the crazy stuff. And I mean, saying, they're kids, so kids are going to do things. But they realized that the attention was focused on them learning, them being successful, them being nice, them being pleasant, them being creative. So therefore, that is what they began to grow in because that's what we were feeding. Even a lot of the parents would say, you know what, I have a different outlook on my child because normally every time the phone rings, it's calling me about something that they did bad. I never get calls about the things that they did. And it was so effective that even when they had mishaps, where they may lose a point or anything like that, we would address it, we would correct it, and we would keep moving. And the way we see it is like we didn't have to involve the parents. It wasn't nothing, that was dangerous or anything like that. And we kept moving. Well, the kids would go home and say all the things they did. And they'd be like, well, mom and dad, I did this today. And, this is what I learned from not doing it. And the parents was like, well, why didn't anyone call me? And it was like, well, it was handled. We handled it and we focused on something else. So the thing that you pay attention to the most is what's going to grow. So if you focus on the wrong that someone does, the bad that they're doing, all of those things, that is what's going to grow. And that's where the division will be. And it's not to say that they're going to always be perfect, but if you focus on what they're doing good, they'll do more of that. Because that is what the attention is drawing. That is what you're paying attention to. So therefore, they're going to make an effort to do those things because that's what's gaining the attention. They no longer want to shift and do other things because we're not paying no attention to it anymore. We address it and keep going. So always know that what you pay attention to is what you will grow. Just like your garden. If you pay attention to your garden, it's going to grow. Again, if you pay attention to the good that kids do, they're going to grow in that. If you pay attention to your marriage, it's going to grow. The greatest gift of love, it's not diamonds, it's not flowers or chocolate. Yes, ladies, I said that. I understand we love them all, but that is not the greatest gift of love. It's just not. The greatest gift of love is given to give focused attention. You can affirm people just by looking at them in the eye, which essentially tells them, I value you. I value what you say. What you have to say is important to me, and you matter to me. What people want more than anything else is focused attention. They want to know that their thoughts matter, that their lives matter, and that they are valuable. I remember when people would say, I hear you, but are you listening to me? Are you, understanding? Are you comprehending? Are you just taking in, or the words are coming through and you just are paying no attention? And we can tell, when people are paying attention to what we have to say, or if they don't want to be bothered. And so what we do is we just tend to go our separate ways. There's been plenty of relationships where, you could be talking to someone. We have become such a society where that this right here is the priority. People are on their phones more than they have conversations. So therefore, you're wondering what happened. You're not talking. But see, that's the same thing with your relationship with God. If you're not paying attention to it, if you're not feeding it, if you're not growing and absorbing, just taking it in, you're not going to grow. Your relationship is going to be at a standstill. And then when you really need to call out to him for the things that you need, you're not fully equipped because you starved your faith and your salvation and your love. You just starved it to death. And at the end of the day, we all want attention, even the ones who don't want to be around all the time. I am a true introvert. I could be in my house all day long in the bed, chilling. And this is not from being depressed, in depression. I do have those moments, but just on a general basis, man, the best time for me is spent listening to some music, laying in my bed with my coffee. That's just me. However, as I'm growing, as I'm in projects, as I'm, doing other things, I need to network and I have to get to know people. So therefore, even though I don't like a lot of attention, I still want attention. Plain and simple. See, the essence of relationship is not what we do for each other or what we give to each other. The essence of relationship is how much of ourselves we give to each other. You know, I can tell you there's so many, people that I know, whether friends or family, girlfriends, guy friends who are in relationships who says, just even in marriages, I know a lot of my good friends are married, and sometimes the husband will be like, well, I don't understand. Like, I provide everything. I go to work every day. They have a roof over their head. I give, my wife everything that she needs. I give my kids everything that they need. What more do they want? And see, the answer is and it's vice versa. The mom could be the one who's, has a corporate job and she's climbing the ladder and she's doing all these things. And it's just like, well, I'm taking care of the house and they have this big house and we just went on holiday and whatever. What else do they need from me? What else? What else? It's you. They need you. They want you. They want your time. They want your attention. They want your focus. They want to know that you think they matter. It doesn't matter if you're traveling with them to the south of France and they're going shopping wherever they want. If you're not present with them, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So many times we try to buy affection and buy time and buy love, and all it is they want you. Nothing can replace time. There's no amount of money in the world that can replace it. Kids, as a child, that was growing up. I wasn't thinking about what I didn't have. I'm gonna be honest, I tell people I know we were poor. We ate every day. We had a roof over our head. We had clothes. But I know that when it came time for the big things, I didn't have nobody there for me, to go to certain things, especially after, auntie and, grandma passed. And, you notice that. And I can't get that time back. I know I had friends whose parents never came to anything. Didn't come to recitals, didn't come to the big assemblies, didn't come to the big, talent shows we'd have. And so therefore, because the excuse was, oh, I'm out here making a living, I'm making sure we're good. Well, the problem is that they don't remember that $1 million house. They don't remember those cars. They remember that you wasn't at their baseball game. They remember that you wasn't there when they got the honor roll. They remember that you wasn't there for graduation. That has nothing to do with money. It's all about time, attention, focus, and love. See, even in marriage and friendships, we all need time to develop. So I know I have good friends that I can go months without talking to. But when we do talk, I don't say, oh, I can only talk to you for 5 minutes. We put that time in and we work, and it may be another couple of months before we speak again. But when we do make that time, we make it focused. We check it in. We're doing all of those things. They're the focus of my attention. I'm not talking to them and doing 5 other things at the same time. That's not being focused on them. That's being focused on everything else but them. So therefore, they're feeling like, well, why did I waste my time even coming? Or why are we talking on the phone? Or why are we FaceTiming when you're doing something else? You could have just called me back. We have to make time. So coming up this weekend, I'm giving some weekend assignments. I want you to look for opportunities to show attention to the people in your life. See, that's the greatest gift you can give, but don't just wait for it to happen. Make opportunities to show it. If you have to put it in your schedule, then do it. If you have to give up Netflix time, yes, I said give up Netflix time. Even though I don't watch it, I love the cooking shows on it, but if you got to give it up, give it up. If it means putting off the housework, if you have to make sacrifices, do it. Do whatever you need to give your relationship attention. It's essential for growth. Many of us are starving for attention. You may be saying, well, he didn't do this. Now, ladies, I'm going to talk to you today. You say, and I used to say all the time, well, he didn't do this. And why do I have to make the initiative? Why not? If y'all are still in a new relationship or whatever, you have to, show that there's certain things you're asking for and need. He may be tired. He may just have completely forgotten, not even think about it. It takes a two-way street. Now, I know I'm not getting into those who are having issues or whatever. That's not my lane. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm only just talking from experience for myself. Make that initiative. I know for me, I'm never one that always just wants to be out and around or whatever. So I have to be intentional with making time. Very intentional. That's what I have to do. And so that's what we're called to do. Because and even in our relationship with Christ, we have to make time to talk to him, to pray, to study, to meditate, to sit still for him to pour into us. We got to make that time. We can't just say, because I'm busy and things like that. Trust me, I had to make time last night to do my prayer closet prayer because there's things that's going on that he can only handle. And so therefore I had to, yes, did I have tons of stuff that's going on? Absolutely. But I needed to make time for him, and it was a priority. It had to be a priority because he's taking me to this level. And I was just feeling like I was losing my footing. And you know why? Because I was not making the time for him so that he can pour into me. And just like anything, if I'm not making time for friends, if I'm not making time for family, if I'm not showing that concern or whatever, I can't be upset if they feel some type of way. Because they're feeling like, well, they don't want my attention and they don't want to be bothered with me. So why do I want to be bothered with them? Why do I want to take my time and pour into them? They're not interested in me. Just remember that money and doing the extravagant trips and the, even shoes and bags. I'm a shoe girl. Even that can't replace time. You have to make it. And that's just let's take it outside of the regular realm of just relationships with those in our community. Sometimes it's taking that initiative and saying hi, or taking that initiative to be loving to someone and let them know how you feel about them. Let them know that you're thinking of them. Let them know that, hey, if there's anything that you need, let me know. It's being intentional and loving. And you know what? It may surprise you because, you may have said, everyone said, that person's always mean and they're never nice. Well, are they mean and never nice because no one takes the time to pay attention to them? After a while, you don't grow in the dark all the time. You're trying to bloom. So if you never watered your garden, never fed it its nutrients, never pulled the weeds, never took the care of it, would it still be here? Human beings are the same way. And I know people say, well, some people are just old and ornery and they're just mean and nasty. Could be. And people can say that about me too. But we have to begin to go back to taking the time to really get to know people. That community we have shattered. We're not cognizant of what's going on. We don't realize that Miss Mary down the street, who is a grandmother who's caring for, 3 of her grandchildren, doesn't have enough food. The kids, the mother, the father, they out on drugs. And she's trying to make it ends meet because we're not present in what is going on in our community. And I'm guilty of that as well. And I get, people say, well, it's dangerous out there. Absolutely, it is. And you have to take precautions and you have to do that. But it's not an excuse. And it doesn't always have to be, it could be at work. It can be in the places you volunteer at. We have to be present. Don't go volunteering and you on your phone. And you asking what time we leaving? How long we gotta be here? Oh my God, we gotta do all this work. Oh my God, that's heavy. Like, why do we really have to do that? When you're doing something, anything, you have to be present. So I'm gonna tell you again what I want you to do this weekend. I want you to look solidly for opportunities to show attention to the people in your life. Notice I said in your life, not just those who are family and friends, people in your life. That's coworkers, that's neighbors, that's someone who you may occasionally see or whatever. Make time. That attention may just be, hi, how are you doing today? Have a blessed day. See, it's the greatest gift of love you can give is your time and your attention. So look for opportunities. I do it every morning. Speak to the bus driver. How are you doing today? Have a blessed day. Be safe. That's attention. Do you realize that little comment can brighten someone's day? It can make them feel validated. It can make them feel loved because you know what? They may be having just a horrible day. And just one smile, one have a blessed day, how are you doing today, can brighten someone up more than giving them $500,000. And money, they could need the money. But what they need more is the attention and the love and to show that they're worth something and that they're valid. So make time for people this weekend. And put it in your journal. Again, you do not have a journal, get one. And I don't mean it has to be a fancy journal or anything like that. It could be something as, it's back to school season. Notebooks. I use 5 subject notebooks, single subject notebooks, 2 subject notebooks, 3 subject notebooks, whatever. And you can decorate it any way you want to, but use it to do your Bible study. Use it to, talk about the things that God is having you do. Even keeping track of what, God has placed on your heart to do for others so that you can keep a living testament of what you've gone through as your walk so that you can pass that on to the next generation so they can understand that they may be having it tough, but you know what? My auntie had it tough too. My uncle, I didn't know Uncle John had the same issues that I'm having right now. It's just different. So definitely invest in a journal. And journal, I brain dump whatever God is telling me, how he's leading me, what I'm feeling. Even the days when you feel like you don't feel like being nice, that's what your journal's for. Get your journal. Journal what God has laid on your heart to do and how it's made you feel and how it's blessed you. I guarantee you'll never turn back once you do it. So I want to thank you for joining us this evening for Better Together. The greatest gift of love is attention. If you are on Facebook and you are not a part of the group, come on and join the group. You can find us at YV Daily Devotionals. That is Y as in yellow, V as in Victor, Daily Devotionals. You can search it. Find us. We are an open group. So come on. That is where all the bonus content is, all of the videos, extra stuff that we place in there. So come and join the little happy community that we have created at YV Daily Devotionals. Also, if you have any prayer requests or praise reports, please let us know what those are. I am going to put a link particularly in some of the links. And so that what you can do is we want to celebrate you. We want to pray for you. And we also want to celebrate what God has done for you. So definitely Tell us your prayer requests. Tell us your praise reports. We would love to hear them. We would love to pray over them. Myself and Minister Peterson, we take great pride in doing what God has directed and leaded us to do. So, no problems more. So, put those in there. I pray that you have a wonderfully blessed evening. Well, I'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. on tomorrow. Love you. Be blessed. I want you to have a wonderful evening. And again, I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Have a great night.